What? Wow. What is going on, everyone? All right, here we are again tonight. Let's go to my restream thing. Check out the chat. Why does it look so weird tonight? There we go. Chat overlay. No comments. Just clicking a couple things here, guys. Give me a second. There we go. That's weird. Okay. How is everyone doing today? Excuse me. Uh, Good to be here. Saturday night, last one for a couple weeks. I think I said that last week, but then we decided to do one today, a live stream. I will be on a cruise. Well, I'll be in New Orleans next Saturday night. So we won't be doing a cruise. Or we won't be doing a live stream. I'll be getting ready for the cruise. John S., we did get a little snow today. Always on a cruise. I try and always go on a cruise. I actually have a cruise this coming weekend. Then I have one in May. It's only 4-day one. And then I have one in June. Then I have one in November. So yeah, I'll be cruising a lot this year. What ship this time? I will be on the Vlogger Extravaganza, is what they're calling it. So it's like 3,000 people on the NCL Breakaway, and it's for YouTubers and stuff like that, and people that subscribe to these cruise channels. In case you guys don't know, I'm kind of turning my Life According to Briggs into just a travel thing. I know McMuffin's up there all the time. I've probably told a lot of you this before, but it's going to be more travel stuff, and that's where all my cruise videos will be going. So if you haven't subscribed to that one, get over and subscribe to that one. You get to see what I do on a cruise. Yeah, so here's a funny thing. A guy came out and checked out with Dregs. Oh, let me do this. I forgot all about this. Boom, boom, boom. How's my new window? So in case you guys didn't see, my window fell out. It got windy the other day. You know, the seal around it, I knew it was a little shaky. Well, the window fell out and shattered all over the place. Apparently, it's a weird window. So the guy came over to fix it, and he's all, "I got to order this," and so yeah, I'm not getting it fixed till Tuesday. I am in the house. It's hard to do this outdoors. Wait, wait. Have you ever called a call for a good time phone number? No, those were big in the 1980s, though. Do they still do those? I have done 4 Alaskan cruises. There are hilly areas by I live on a hill. They call it a mountain, but it's really just a hill. Yes, you will get plenty of those. Cruise recommendation videos. I'll be doing a lot of them this year. I've kind of touched on them a little bit in the last 2 years, but you'll be seeing a lot more of them later. Denzel, how you doing, buddy? 125 people in here already. Nice. Hey, you haven't said anything about your cousin's ex-wife in a while. Yeah, I haven't. Kind of got off that train. Sometimes I get stuck on something and I just keep going with them. Sorry, I don't know. I'm just a little got something in my throat tonight. Hi, Mike. Yeah, so I haven't made a joke about my cousin's ex-wife in a long time. Oh, here's one. Okay. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to watch someone living it up while I struggle to feed my family. Who's living it up? You know, um, no, I don't even want to get into it. You do you. If you think somebody else taking a cruise is like, you know, offensive or whatever, I can't help you. Hey, what's happening? This is what Briggs looks like. Did you think I was 20? Who hate watch this year? Like, come on. Who hate watches? Yeah, I know. It's like I used to watch when I didn't have much money. I used to watch uh, theme park videos all the time. So I wanted to be at a theme park and I thought it'd be entertaining. So someone was taking me along with the trip. Sure, was it there and it's not as good as being there, but I'm still enjoying the video. Summit Dave, how are you, buddy? Haven't been on a cruise in a couple years. Cruises are fun. There we go. My wife and I like Princess Cruises for Alaska, as they were great. Yeah, Eric, I'm a big Norwegian Cruise Line fan. So yeah, I like Norwegian Cruise Line. And this the other thing that the guy, whoever that was, that said not gonna watch me living it up, and I am living it up, okay, but don't think I'm paying full price for these cruises. Sometime, and I get to write them off whatever I do spend on the cruises. So that's a bonus of having YouTube channels. Plenty of trucking jobs, work hard for a few years to save. Yep. Matter of fact, speaking of truckers, a friend of mine, him and his wife go on cruises all the time, and that's what he does. He's a trucker. I think they go on one every 3 months. Kind of their, he works still. I think she's retired, but they go on one every 3 months, and they enjoy the hell out of it. Here we go. Here's a good question. I'm sorry, it's moving pretty fast, guys, the chat, so I'm trying to keep up. What state is the best for first-time home buyers in the next few years? Is the housing market improving? No, the housing market's not improving. I don't think the housing market, this is my opinion. I'm not a, just from what I see. Don't take my advice on anything. I'm not giving you financial advice or anything like that. My opinion is we're not going to see a change till after next summer, maybe 2020, or I'm sorry, this summer. We're not going to see it till 2023, the end of summer. We might see a change to where it kind of flattens out. I think it's going to keep inching down a little bit. I don't personally think there's going to be a big collapse. Oh, bit my lip. A lot of people do think there's a big collapse on the horizon, but there's always those people. I don't think in our lifetime we'll ever see a collapse like we did back in 2008. My opinion. What is the trucking? All the way from Beaverton, Oregon, huh? I don't know what the trucking business like. I know this is what I brought this question up to a couple truckers I know. And they said you're going to get the most work if you live in an area where there's you can go anywhere and pick stuff up. But if you live in an area where there's ports, like, Portland has a good sized port, Seattle, down in Los Angeles, even the Bay Area, good port areas, you're always going to find trucking. And the other one, that's obvious. But if you go to the Midwest, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, that area where you're centrally located, you get a lot of work there too. That's what they told me. I don't know that for sure. Hey, David. Hello from Australia. Best states to retire with all 4 seasons. Could be a good question. Could be a good video. Greetings from Los Angeles. What town in Los Angeles? Derek Ray, thank you for supporting the channel. Let's see what Derek has to say. Thank you for the super chat. Hey Briggs, I'm currently on California Zephyr. Smart move. Which Amtrak route is my favorite and why? Um, I really like the California Zephyr. That's probably my favorite. I think that's everyone's favorite because it goes through Rockies, it goes to Reno, goes through all those great areas. Sure, if you leave Chicago, the first day just blows because you're going through like I don't know Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa type stuff. So you really don't see much. But in the morning of the second day, you wake up in Colorado, and that's when the excitement starts. So that is my favorite trip. I also do like the Empire Builder. I've taken the Southwest Chief. I wasn't a big fan. Besides a lot of different things that happened on that one, we were delayed by like almost 6 hours. So that kind of sucked. Can you concede and be honest about? Yeah, I'm always honest about anything. My opinions are always honest. My stats are always as accurate as they I could find. Um, so yeah, I am honest. It may not be what you want to hear about the state. It may not be your opinion, but I'm always honest about how I feel about a place. Hey, I love it when people say I'm their favorite YouTuber. Hi, Briggs. You're my favorite YouTuber. Please never stop doing what you're doing. All the love from Pennsylvania. Thanks, Brick. I will. I love Pennsylvania. Matter of fact, I was just talking about Pennsylvania. I recorded a video for next week today, and Pennsylvania's in it. I was also trying to figure out Missouri. We never talk about Missouri on this channel or Kentucky. I was kind of going over it, and those two states are the least talked about states on this channel, Missouri and Kentucky. Ooh, here's a good question. Have you ever compared small gambling towns like Cripple Creek? Never heard of. I've heard of Cripple Creek. Blackhawk, I know that one. I love Cripple Creek myself. Never. I don't know much about Cripple Creek, but I mean that could be a question. That could be a good video. Rhode Island. How are you, Ken? So here's a good question. David asks, "Have you ever done any train trips here in Canada?" I have not yet, but that is on my bucket list. I was planning on doing it in 2023. I doubt I'm gonna have time, so I'm probably gonna shoot for 2024. I was actually thinking about doing it during football season, and then taking it all the way across, and then just fly down to Cleveland, grab a game, and come on home. Dregs, we're recording Briggs. Some guy came into my job saying the IndyCar team with Johnny Depp selling whiskey. Now everyone's working betting. He is a fraud. I did hear. I think it was Johnny Depp. I heard he's getting into a racing team or something like that. I don't know anything about it though. Denzel, did you hear? Cost of one railroad freight locomotive costs anywhere from 500,000 to $1 million, and a couple of knuckles weight 70 70 pounds a piece. Riggs, I will say thank you very much for providing all the content you do. It's a lot more work than we realize. Yeah, sometimes it is. I pull a lot of 18-hour days. I'm not gonna lie. But the funny thing is, I would do this. Um, the pay's good. So I've developed a channel to where the pay's decent, and I would do this even if I was making less money because I enjoy it more. So there's that. And it affords me the opportunity to travel. When I do things like go places, I usually get really discounted tickets for trains and planes and cruises and stuff. So it works out. Um, I've heard that before. Buffalo Bills occasionally play in Toronto. We got here. Guys, I always got to tell you guys this. I'm sorry that I'm going to miss some of your chat things. I try and get to all of them, but I do this alone. And right now we got 208 people in the chat. Hey, Briggs, I'm an Oregonian trying to get back to school. Should I go to OSU or U of O? This is just curiosity. I'm going to decide the school based on off of this. Okay, good. Don't base it off me. Um, I would go to. I prefer a state school myself for a lot of different reasons. One, they're usually going to have people that really want to be there over a private school. So that's my opinion. They worked hard to get there and stuff like that. Someone's not paying their route. And a lot of times when it's a state school, they know they've got a bill at the end of it. And when a lot of the kids that go to private schools or not, state schools, um, their parents paid for it. That's my opinion. Now, that's not every scenario, and I just stereotype the hell out of the situation. Myself, I'd go to Oregon State. But one thing I always tell almost every kid that doesn't have a big bank account backing them up, like their parents aren't rich, even if your parents do okay, I say go to community college for 2 years. I mean, that's I've always felt that way. If my parents won the lottery, I still would have gone to a community college first. I could have gone to a 4-year college right off the bat with the government paying for it. I chose the community college. It was cheaper and it was easier. And that was the first 2 years. Actually, for me, it was 3.5 years because I was in the military. You only take a couple classes at a time. Hello from Rikers Island jail. Look out there and see North Brother Island. That's where, you guys know this? North Brother Island, which is right out by Riker Island, and I forget what harbor that is or what bay or whatever that is. Let's look now. Okay, Riker Island is in. Can't find it. Can't find it. Can't find it. Where is you? Where is you? Anyway, so you got Riker Island, which is in this little bay area, and right across the way is There it is, North Brothers Island. That is in the East River. Okay, it's considered the East River. It's not really a bay, but you have Riker Island, and right to the northwest of it, I guess it is, you have North Brother Island. Remember Typhoid Mary? Though she kept getting people, started. I don't know what it was, typhoid epidemic. They finally had enough of her. She kept going back into food service even though they told her not to. She was spreading this typhoid. She kept going back to it because that's all she knew. They finally pretty much put her on that island. Now there was a hospital and stuff like that. It's not like they just left her on an island, but they put her in quarantine the rest of her life in that bay or in that little island in the East River. I did a lot of things in the military, but I started off at 11B. I was infantry, light infantry, actually. Mm, 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 215 people in chat. I had some Australians on Facebook who got mad at me when I said that shops and stores are closed at 5 p.m. in Australia. When people get off work, they corrected me, and it's now 7 p.m. Oh, what did he see? That doesn't make sense. Oddly enough, so we had a same situation like that when I was at Fort Ord in the late 80s. All of our, because it's almost like union people, and they decided they're going to close at 5 o'clock because people only work 9 to 5. So they were closing at 5 o'clock, and it sucked because if you wanted to go to the store, we had little PX and stuff like that. Oh my God, what they used to call those things? So you have the PX, which is the big store, and then like the little mini mart was something else. I forget what's called. Anyway, so they would close at 5 o'clock. We get off work at like 4:45, so we could never buy anything. We had to wait for the weekend, and they were like, "Sorry, those are our rules." Well, we got a new general on there, and the general's all, "No, if you want these jobs, we stay open till 8 p.m. from now on." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Hey, Greg, how are you? I went to Portland State, and half the time PSU. Okay. Yeah, that's Portland. Portland State is never gets any respect. Penn State's such a bigger state anyway, or such a bigger college, both in popularity and size. Yeah, I think it is. You're right, Dregs. It's been abandoned for decades. I have no idea. What's the best place to be during a polar shift? No idea. Isn't that where we get off our axis? Isn't that what it is? Corvallis. Corvallis not a bad place to live. I went to Portland State. Oh, Geiger did that one. McMuffin is great. McMuffin, I was just down there. Oh my god, she was so mad. Here's the wait. Where's my thing? I always have this thing. There we go. That's McMuffin. In case this is your first time here, I own a pig. That one's about a year and a half old when she was about 100 pounds lighter than she is now. Now she's a huge beast. She looks like this. Yeah, so that's McMuffin. In case you're new to our little shindig here. And in case you're wondering, she is an indoor pig. She goes outdoors part of the day, but at night she has her own room. It's like a walk-in closet that we've turned into like it's all wood and it's nice and the floors all these mats and stuff like that. It's nice. And for a pig at least. So, but her name is McMuffin and yeah, we realized today sometimes if you rub her belly, she like loses control and she'll just slowly you can just see her body like weakening and then she just flops on her side. Well, it's like you're hypnotizing her. And then when she hits the ground, she's all mad that you did it to her again. She's like, you can't take control of me. She is super smart. And what's funny is she's, she's very moody. And if things don't go her way, she's mad. And so it's really, really, really cute, actually. But yeah, I don't know how true it is, but people say pigs are smarter than dogs. I've been surprised how smart she is, but I wouldn't put her past a dog. I still think the dogs are a little smarter. She is housebroke. That's something else people don't know about pigs. They won't go to the bathroom where they poop. If they won't go to the bathroom where they sleep. If they could walk 2 feet to the left or whatever in a pen, they'll poop there and have their own sleeping area. Well, she sleeps in this little closet and she'll never go in there. I think we've had one accident, but we have these rubber mats that there's nothing getting through them. And we threw out the mats, got our new mats, and then we have a wood covering thing underneath there, so we're not worried about it. So pigs will eat anything you put in front of them, and if you put bacon in front of her, she will eat it. That's how pigs are. Um, well, I have a video. I kept meaning to put it up as a short, but I'm cooking bacon, then I take 2 steps to the left, and she's staring at me through the glass door, and I'm all, "Ooh, this is awkward." Good question. What position should the Browns address first? You know, I think they need a little help on linebackers. Their defensive line, they got rid of Clowney, so they could use another solid defensive lineman. But I think their linebackers need a little help. Um, but I mean, their receivers are solid. Their quarterback is solid. Their running backs are amazing. Um, defensive backs are okay. Defensive line solid, even though they lost Clowney. Um, yeah, I'd go linebackers. Thanks, Josh Adams. I appreciate that. Briggs, love your videos. What's better, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia when it comes Pittsburgh? I'd live in now Philadelphia is bigger and it's probably got more things to see, more things to do. Pittsburgh is a nice city, especially when you compare it to Philadelphia. If you get Kensington in Philadelphia, which brings the whole city down. Riggs, what did you do before you started the channel, and what was your inspiration for the channel? Well, we've kind of talked about this before, but I'll tell you. So I trained people at different businesses and stuff. I got to work for Netflix, Comcast, where I basically sold cable there. Then I was working at Nike for a while, but I was in the military and I was a stand-up comedian for years. So I was working at Nike when I started working on the channel. Actually, I think I was still working at Comcast. No, I was working at Nike when I started the channel. And one day it got to the point where I was making more money doing this part time than I was at Nike working in a lab. So type thing. So yeah, I bailed out on that and started doing this. My inspiration was I saw an article that said a YouTuber made $14 million. That was my whole inspiration. PewDiePie made $14 million in like 2015. I was like, I need to do that. And I started a YouTube channel. This is the neat thing about YouTube. If you ever want to start a YouTube channel, everything you need to know about starting a YouTube channel, you will learn on YouTube. What kind of camera should I use for vlogging? YouTube it. How do you edit a video? What's the best editing software? How do you upload a video? What is SEO? How do you make a thumbnail? Anything you need to know about YouTube, there's, thousands of videos about every thought you have. So that's all you need to do. Go on YouTube, start reading or start watching. This is all I do. I do this and yeah, that's it. I don't have a real job. Hey Briggs, love from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Once I went to Minneapolis and the people asked me where I'm from because I was wearing cowboy boots. They called me a redneck and told me to go back to the ranch. Yeah, yeah, okay, I will. I'd choose, excuse me, Wyoming over Minneapolis anytime. Not bald, I shave my head. It's full head of hair, my friend. There's a difference. So everyone's all, "Oh, I didn't know you were a balding old man." Well, I'm not balding. I have a full head of hair. It is gray. I am really gray underneath here, but I'm not bald. Yeah, that's the truth. You don't That's all you need. If you want to start a YouTube channel, you could do it with a computer and a phone or just a phone. Matter of fact, my wife makes cookie videos on how to decorate cookies. She's only doing shorts. She's just using her phone. I mean, we're using cool lighting that I've bought for this channel and stuff like that. But the what she's using to film right now is her phone. Phone's all you need. Mr. Beast, the biggest dude in the world, he started off with his cell phone, and I think he said it was an iPhone that was already, I mean, 3 generations behind what was currently available or something like that. I think the iPhone 7 was out, and he had, like, the iPhone 4 or 5 or something. North Seattle. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. She likes decorating her cookies. I don't like growing my hair. You know, got away from having hair when I used to wrestle and do jujitsu and stuff like that. I just did just my hair just flies everywhere. I look like Rod Stewart unless I have a lot of product in my hair. My hair is that very, the each strand of hair is very thin and fly away. So I couldn't stand it. So I just always shaved my head. When I was in high school, I had a mohawk. Yeah. Briggs, have you seen Charleston, West Virginia statue? Yeah, I know all about West Virginia, Charleston. Stance on cannabis? I don't know. Perfectly fine with me. Doesn't bother me. I think it should have been legal a long time ago, but yeah, that's it. That's like baby fine hair. Got a full head of hair. It's just that fine stuff. And it always drove me crazy when I was in high school and stuff. It would just be, no matter what I did, it was just like, I don't know, looked like a cotton ball by the end of the day. Santos from. Okay. Hey Briggs, this is Steven Santos from a place where shall not be mentioned. We work together. Oh, Stephen! I'll mention that place. Um, Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you are too, sir. Me and Steven used to work at Netflix together. Haven't heard from you in a long time, Steven. Briggs, can you do a video on Charleston, South Carolina? 10 reasons type video? Sure. I think I've done a couple. Briggs had. Here we go. Let's do this one. Briggs, I have seen every one of your videos, and I noticed that you have never talked about the capital of Nevada, Carson City. You're right, I haven't. What do you think about it? I don't know much about it. I think I drove through there one time, and my impression was this is pretty quiet for a capital city. I mean, there's nothing going on there. Um, but I've never really researched it, never really looked into it. Uh, but it's one of those things I should, because I've been to. You know what? I think I'm wrong. I think when I was a kid, I was in Carson City because we used to go to Lake Tahoe every once in a while, and I know we went to. I think it wasn't Reno. I think it was Carson City. So I've been in the city, but I don't remember much about it. And I drove through one time when I was like in my 30s, maybe. So yeah, it just seemed a little vacant to me when I was there. Like there wasn't really a lot going on, and it was just kind of quiet. Boom, here we go. Taylor Stoltz, super chat. Thank you for super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hey Briggs, big fan of your videos. I always wonder what it would feel like live in California, Montana, and Colorado because the states look so beautiful. Yeah. Um, so California, California is beautiful. It's just got more problems than it's worth. That's my opinion. If I were going to choose of those three, I'd probably move to Colorado, Montana, and then the last one would be California. California is probably going to be the more beautiful one. That's a preference thing. That's everyone sees things differently. I mean, you got the redwoods, you got the Mount Shasta, you got the coast, you got Death Valley. It's a very beautiful state. It's just got more problems than it's worth. I'd choose Montana or Colorado first. But thank you for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Almond, Indiana, or Idaho. Oh my God, I can't even speak today. Warsaw, Missouri. I have heard of it. Don't know much about it though. What do I like to watch on television? That's a good question. I'm going to talk about it. So, back here someplace. Anyway, someone asked, "What do I like to watch on television?" I love to watch The Walking Dead, and I just finished it finally on Netflix. I know it ended like 4 months ago, but they just had the last season and the last episode on Netflix. I watched it; it was great. Do you still exercise? I do. I do not wrestle anymore. I do not do jujitsu anymore. Um, I just got bad hips, bad knees. It's not worth the effort. I still lift weights on a regular basis. Um, Yeah, I need to do more cardio. I need to do a little more yoga. But yeah, I'm one of those people that when I was younger, you know, I had anger issues. So I loved wrestling. I went to boxing, joined the military and things like that. And as I got older, I realized I could just shift that energy to weightlifting. So I was really into weightlifting for a lot of years. Which is better, Alabama or the Czech Republic? I don't know. I probably choose Czech Republic. Vacaville, California. My mother-in-law, rest her soul, she grew up in Vacaville. um, you think of getting your own TV channels. I don't need TV channels. Yeah, yoga is, I mean, I've tried it, periodically I'll go through, a month or 2 where I'll do yoga a couple times a week, and then I won't do it for 6, 7 months. Ooh, Clarksville, Knoxville, or Chattanooga. I don't know much about Clarksville, so let's leave that out of there. But I would live in Knoxville before I lived in Chattanooga, but it's not much of a, they're pretty close, so it could go either way. I have not done hot yoga. 30 push-ups last night. Good for you. We used to have a guy, okay, back in the day when I was in the army, you had to take PT test. And I think maxed out 82 push-ups. And we had this guy named Mike Gibson who would get down, and this guy had to, his arms were so big, he'd have to have extra material added right here so his sleeves would fit. But that guy, he would get down there and he had 2 minutes to do 82 push-ups. He would get down there, and I swear to God, there was like 45 seconds left and he's standing up. He already hit his 82. It's like every time. Meanwhile, people are shaking to get their last 7 to get to number 70, you know? He'd get all the way to 82 and just stand up. Here we go. I'm just starting to make outdoor videos. You should. So everyone should make YouTube videos. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a good hobby to have, and it's a hobby that could actually pay you. And if you're lucky, like I've been, it can be your income, your like sole income. I don't know. I think if that's anything anyone's ever been interested in, I'd do it. Especially now making shorts, and they're gonna start paying people for shorts. Now's the best time. Just so big that it was not that's the worst. Um, my son, when he got out, his thighs were so big. They were lifting weights all the time. He was airborne infantry, and he was just lifting it. And for some reason, doing squats and stuff, his legs. Sometimes you have those people, like my back. If I do too many back exercises, my just it's an Irish thing, I think, because all the men in my family, we just have too much back muscle, I guess. I don't know. And if I start working on it, I look ridiculous because I start walking around like this, like my arms out, like I'm some kind of tough guy. So I try not to do back things. But my son starts doing all these squats when he's over in Italy with the 171st Airborne, 172nd, I forget what it was. But his thighs just blew up. He couldn't even fit in his shorts half the time. Would I live in Mexico? Nah, it's too hot. Nothing wrong with this country, but I'm just not a hot weather guy. I like it cold. I like up here in the Pacific Northwest. I'd love New England. Where would I retire? You're gonna have to wait till about the middle of February to do that, because sometimes I do these videos, just they're based on my opinion. This is where I would retire in 2023, and that video is coming out around February 15th. I would live in New Mexico if I was single. Woke Estate came out yesterday. Here we go. What do we got? Russell Adams asks, thank you for supporting the channel, Russell. I really appreciate it. I live in Atlanta and I want to relocate to another city in the future. Charlotte, Raleigh, and Huntsville, Alabama are my choices. What are your opinion? Okay, so I would go Huntsville because Huntsville is not like the rest of Alabama. Huntsville is an outstanding place to live. The Raleigh Durham metro area, it's also really good. So I would go Huntsville, Raleigh Durham, Charlotte. Um, and if you have medical problems, I just mentioned this into the video I recorded today. If you have any kind of medical problems, move to Raleigh Durham. They have some of the best hospitals in the country. So Huntsville, though, is an amazing town in Alabama. I would move to Huntsville, Raleigh, Durham, and then Charlotte. Charlotte, I think, is a little too crowded, and they're starting to see some of the problems that a big city has. They're not as bad as some of the other big cities, Detroit, Chicago, things like that. But I think in the next decade, they're going to start seeing a lot of problems. It's what a lot of people don't understand. Most of the problems that happen to a big city doesn't have as much to do with policy. It does, as it does with funding and population density. More people mean more problems. So the bigger a city is, the more problems they're going to have. That's all there is to it. Sure, policies, political policies, and who's in charge do play a part in everything, especially when it comes to cities and how they're run. But I think a lot of people just assume it's the political party and it's the policies they have in place. No, population density plays a big role in that, and I think Charlotte's heading that direction. So yeah, definitely Huntsville, Raleigh, Durham. Nike closed down their flagship store. Oh, that sucks. I was just there, or in Seattle, the one in Seattle. I was just there. Their flagship stores. I don't like them. Every time I went in there, there was nothing good. Um, I go to the employee store, which is not too far here from where I am. I'm probably 15-minute walk if I wanted to walk there. Um, but yeah, that's their stores I've never thought were that good. They don't have enough. It's more of a You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Starbucks. Starbucks has decent coffee. They don't have the greatest coffee, but it's more of an experience than it is a coffee place. And that's kind of what the Nike stores remind me of. It's more of an experience than it is a place to buy things. I don't want the experience. I want to buy some crap. Is that what it is right now? Philadelphia over New York? 27 nothing. They win? Sorry, I missed a lot of things on here, guys. We got 210 people and I am trying. What breed is McMuffin? I've heard them call a Julian pig. They told me it was a mini pig in the beginning. That's BS in case you don't know. No such thing. Um, but yeah. Denzel, what'd you say? She's a Julian pig, I believe they said. Can I send my ex to New Jersey? There you go. Okay, so here we go. I just got an email, guys. So what you guys don't see right here is in this chat, um, which let's see if I point this way. There it is. So this chat here, you only see the ones that are being posted. What you don't see is in between each one of these chats, there's other ones that are being blocked. And there's one that's been blocked countless times, and the guy decided to email me. And he wants to know why I am blocking him and all this other stuff. Well, number one, he's thrown out two gay slurs that I've seen, and he's dropped N bombs in each one of his comments. Okay. So if let's say you're just confused on why your comments aren't coming through and you're throwing out racial and sexual orientation slurs, you don't have to email me about it. Your answer, you should be able to figure that out on your own. So yeah, these are things I have to deal with as a YouTuber. So it's not all roses. All right. Sorry I missed a bunch. Oh, so interesting. My friend, guy I went to high school with, good friend of mine. He lives in Houston. He's retired now, but he was a prison guard out there. And I think I'm going to go out to Houston for his son's. His son does this Crawdad festival, like Cajun festival every single year. I think I'm going to go out there this year. I think it's in early April. I was just talking to him about it today. But I whenever someone calls me and wants me to go someplace, I always start kind of thumbing through the stats. Houston's crime rate is just climbing right now. Um, so yeah, someone just asked me about that. Do I think I'll ever quit YouTube? I doubt it. Um, I enjoy it. Maybe 5, 6 years from now, I might slow down on YouTube because right now I have like 3 channels going. I have this one I have on this day, and I have the World According to Briggs one, or the Life According to Briggs ones that will have travel and cruises, stuff like that. So I might back off some of those, or maybe I'll go down to a couple times a week instead of 3 times a week, but I'm probably gonna be doing this till the day I die. Okay. Hello, Mr. Briggs. I love your work. Any thoughts on what state is better? North Carolina, Delaware, PA, or Utah? Okay, so Delaware's not bad. A lot of people think it are. A lot of people think it are. I don't even know English. A lot of people think it is because all they think about is Wilmington. What most people, especially on the west side of the state or the country, don't understand is Delaware's a lot more than just Wilmington. Sure, it is their biggest city and it takes up about, I don't know, fifth of the state, but Delaware's a nice state. I would live in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and then Delaware, and then Utah. That's the order I would go in. Boom, what do we got here? Briggs, first time commenter, long time listener. Thank you. If I'm ever moving to Atlanta, what are some of the best suburbs to live in? Going to cheap living, but not too expensive. So that's a good question. And off the top of my head, I don't know, but I have some outdated videos about their best suburbs. I mean, outdated. I did them like 2 years ago. I doubt much has changed, but I probably do need to update them. Um, I don't want to say offhand because I can't even remember right now. Uh, College Park is where I used to hang out when I go there a lot, and I liked it. I understand it's not the best anymore, but yeah, I'd have to do some research on it. Maybe I think it's time to upgrade some of the best neighborhood videos. What sucks about those is sometimes I rank them by their crime rate, and I don't want to jump around because the crime rate might be artificially off. So I did one about Los Angeles neighborhoods, the most dangerous neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and one of them is Little Tokyo, which is downtown LA. If you go to Little Tokyo, I'm sure you're going to be all, "What the hell are you talking about?" Until you realize that Skid Row, which is one of the ugliest places in the country right now, it's like Kensington, but worse. Um, that's actually part of Little Tokyo, and people don't understand that. So I said the crime stat, and everyone is all up in arms. They didn't believe me. I actually got messages from people for months. I still get messages. People did videos about how wrong I was. One guy that lives down there, he's the only one that picked up on it. He said, "Okay, well, this might not seem like it to everyone, but Skid Row is part of Little Tokyo. Not a lot of people know that." And out of all the things I've seen about that video, one guy got it right. So yeah, I need to update a lot of those neighborhood videos. Maybe we will soon. Briggs, was the title of your channel inspired by the book World According to Garp? Yes, sort of and sort of not. One, I was dealing with travel and, the world and the United States or whatever. And that book was one of my favorite books. And I love the movie, love Robin Williams. So World According to Briggs, World According to Garp makes perfect sense. Blended the two, and here we are. So here's the thing, Briggs, do you think Houston crime rate makes no sense compared to their job opportunities? So their crime rate is always going to be high because this crime rates are normally high when you have bad jobs or not enough jobs. Houston does not have enough jobs, and the jobs they do have aren't that well paying. I mean, they don't have any. They have some big industries, but not like they have in the past. So a lot of their crime rate has to do with that. And if they were to solve that problem, a lot of their crime would go down. Now, if you're thinking about taking a job in Houston, go ahead. Just learn which areas to stay out of. Stay out of those neighborhoods. Bad things can happen to you wherever you go on this planet. Um, if you could lessen your odds of something bad happening to you if you know your surroundings and where you shouldn't go. Whether we like it or not, you should be able to go anywhere you want on the planet. That's just a fact of life. But the reality is, you shouldn't. There's some places you shouldn't go. Just like you shouldn't be wandering around the African savannah by yourself. You're going to get eaten by something. You should be able to, theoretically. Chances are. What are some of the goals for the YouTube channel this year? I have one goal I am focused on: million subscribers. That should happen end of March. We're doing pretty good with our subscriber growth right now. We've had a little bit of a jump. Um, so we'll see how if it slows down, it'll probably be the end of April. If it keeps at the pace that it is, I would say it would be early March that we will hit 1 million subscribers, maybe end of March. So let me rephrase that. Chances are it's good. If things keep going good, it's going to be the end of March. If we slow down on our subscriber growth, it'll probably be end of April. Plano is a great place to live. Frisco is pretty good too. My high school girlfriend and my daughter's best friend, they don't know each other. My high school girlfriend, who were like, it's weird when you've known someone so long, even though you dated when you were like freshman and sophomore in high school, they almost become a family member at some point because you've known them so long. So she lives in Dallas, in Plano. I think actually she moved up from Plano though. She started off in Plano a few years back, and now I think it's up by some lake. I forget what lake it was. Oh, here it is. Louisville Lake. So she lives near Louisville Lake. So the Plano area is pretty good. I would move there. It's not that bad. I'm not, it's a little too hot for me there, but Frisco and Plano are pretty good places to live. Plano's getting a little too crowded though. And actually, my daughter's best friend lives in Plano. Briggs. Hey, Briggs moved from Boise to Torrance, California. I was Disneyland PhotoPass cast member going into COVID. Boise is great. Never moving back to California. Oh, moved to Boise from Torrance, California. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Boise's definitely better. I grew up in Torrance, California. West Torrance I went to. I actually got in an argument with someone. They're all, "Did you go to Redondo High?" And I'm all, "No, I went to West High." They're, "Why do you say you're from Redondo Beach?" I'm all, "Because I kind of was." And most people don't understand. It's like they're the same town almost. Redondo and Torrance are right on top of each other, and the map of them looks like this. They're all intertwined. And Redondo High is literally 3 blocks away from West Torrance High when I went to high school. So went like this. When I was born, I lived in Redondo Beach, California, until I was in 8th grade, and I moved to Torrance, California. Um, I lived in Torrance, California all through high school till I went in the military. When I got out of the military, I moved to Redondo Beach, California. So it's like why are you arguing stupid crap with me? You can do her house. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You get a nice newer house in a safe neighborhood in Houston for $260,000. Just make 6,000, you'll be golden. Yeah, that's that's not that's not a bad price, especially right now. I think the national average, oh, I forget what it was. I just looked at the other day, but it's over 400,000. And if you could score something for 260, even anything under 300,000, that's a good price for a house these days. I mean, as long as it's not run down and, you have street pharmacists out in front of your house, it's a good place to live. Why is Maryland so expensive compared to neighboring states. Um, they've just got outside of Baltimore and even in parts of Baltimore, they just have some extremely see, because you gotta remember a lot of people were living in the Washington, DC area, made a lot of money. And a lot of people moved to that area because, I mean, for a lot of rich people, Washington, DC is just like a cash machine that keeps paying them. So they live closer to there. So a lot of really expensive neighborhoods popped up in Maryland. And Connecticut has the same thing. Connecticut has some really crappy places, but they have some of the most expensive neighborhoods and zip codes in the country. It's weird. Okay, Briggs, I've seen how Houston looks, and they have no one extreme bad area. They just a little moderately bad single neighborhoods like Southside Chicago. Yeah, that's how all cities are. Southside Chicago is a really bad example because they have some freaking scary neighborhoods. Every city's gonna have some bad places. I don't care what city it is. You're gonna see some pretty bad areas. It's just how cities work. I'd move to Boise myself. That's personal preference. No real reason for it. I just like it better. Boom, 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 boom. Hold on, I'm looking at something. Oh my god. This dude still wants to discuss why he can't put racial slurs in my chat. I'm censoring him. Oh yeah, 40 minutes. God, compared to what I used to have sit through there, that was a good amount of time. So in no traffic, any of you not from this area, Redondo to LAX, right down Pacific Coast Highway. Let's say there's no traffic on the road and you're just driving normal 40 miles an hour. You should probably be there in under probably around 15 minutes. Okay. That's how long it should take if there's absolutely no traffic. 40 minutes, if it's rush hour, that's an hour and a half easy for that trip. That's one of the main reasons I left. I got sick of spending my life in traffic, and working from home really wasn't a thing back then. Well, thank you very much, stupid kid. Like your title or like your channel name. So do I think Chicago has a future? Absolutely it does. So Chicago's just like any other city. Now their South Side and a couple little neighborhoods here or there are really dangerous. More dangerous than other places. But that's not a bad city overall. Matter of fact, everyone talks about how dangerous it is and this and that, and everyone's dying there. Okay, so they have the most murders almost every single year. The thing is, they have 8 million people. Okay, I don't know the numbers offhand, and I'm not going to look them up right now because then I got to sit here and stare at the screen. But let's say they have 700 murders in 1 year. That's a freaking lot, right? But they have 8 million people living in that city. Okay. Now, the next on that list, I forget what it was when I did this thing. Oh, I'm giving the hand signals that so my new thing has hand signals. My new camera. Anyway, so the next on that list had like less than half the amount of people that Chicago had, but they only had like 50 fewer murders. So yeah, Chicago's not that bad. Matter of fact, I think when it came into violent crime rate, they were ranked 25th in 2021. That's the city of Chicago. The metro area has about 8 million people. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, 2.6 million. But their metro area, whenever you're looking at the stats, this is what people really are kind of looking at is the metro area. And the entire urban metro area is 8.67 million people. Oh, I'm sorry. Metro area is 9.6 million. The urban area, there's a difference there. But if it's like if you look at Chicago, Chicago basically their metro area almost bleeds into Gary, Indiana. And the metro area includes Naperville, Aurora, Crystal Lake, McHenry, all that stuff. But I think once the state lines there, I don't, they probably do consider the Gary, Indiana place. I could be wrong with that metro area because there's other, because there, no, are there any? No, I don't think there are. So I think the state line is where they stop the metro area, no matter if there's a bunch of city there. I would take San Antonio over Austin myself. Los Angeles has a population of 3.8 million, but the entire metro area is 13.2 million. That metro area is going to encompass things like Long Beach all the way up past, probably Sherman Oaks. I don't know if the valley's part of the metro area. I doubt it though. Got it. Get it good. Hello. How are you? Solo Road. Briggs. I know a positive for Detroit. It ain't Baghdad. True. So, there's I missed one. Sorry about that, Russell. What are some of the good cities for veterans to live in a good job market? Okay, so Russell McAdams, thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Sorry I missed your thing. I was going off on a tangent, wasn't looking at the screen. So, um, one of the best places to live, obviously, if you're a veteran and you got like PX privileges and you can go to the hospital, whether you're retired or whatever, um, you're going to want to be near a good military base. San Antonio is one of the best places to live as retired or just ex-military. It's considered military town USA or whatever. I think that's how they bill themselves sometimes. But San Antonio's good. You start getting up into the Colorado Springs. That's another one that's really good. I wouldn't suggest Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's outside Fort Bragg. A lot of people say it's good. I don't like that area. It's not that good. But yeah, I would definitely look at those. And then if you can get to near some of the if you want to stay up north, if you get in any of those towns that are like near the Great Lake naval bases or something like that, or one of them that they have up there, it's probably a good option too. But I would say San Antonio is probably your best bet. And they do have a good job market. Rel, hey Briggs, which has a better quality of life, Bozeman or Bend? Looking to leave Portland. I'm gonna say Bend. Um, Bozeman's a little, Bozeman's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Bozeman's not okay. I just think Bend is a little bit better right now. I like the Rockies better myself. That's just me though. Ooh, that I is Metro Atlanta best place for college grads for good jobs. Depends on what kind of job you're going to do. Atlanta right now, if you can work in anything tech that has to do with movies or video production or something like that, you'll find a job in the Atlanta metro area. I'm sure they have other ones. I'm just saying that's one I know is always seems to be booming there. That's a decent one. There's other towns I would, as a recent college grad, I would look at other places first. Again, that's just me. Best place to take a vacation on a cruise ship. What are my thoughts on Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? I like Pittsburgh. It's not something I go out, not a place I go out of my way to go visit, but every time I've been there, like 3 times, it's been decent. Not permanently, but yeah, to travel. Do I think I'll leave Oregon anytime soon? I might. I don't know. Once all the kids are out of the house. Sorry, guys. Whew. Once all the kids are out of the house and they're all doing their own thing, we've thought about moving to a coastal town in Washington, or maybe just someplace in Washington because they don't have any state income tax, and I'm kind of tired of paying that. So, and then plus, oh my God, um, I don't know if this. So I get this letter from Oregon, $98. This is what I owed them because there was something I missed on my taxes or something like that. $98, and the letter says that I took care of it. Got online, took care of it right away. But the first time I see this, they tell me there's like this warrant for it. It's until paid, the warrant is open. I'm like, a warrant? What the? I've always heard that Oregon's a little cutthroat when it comes to their revenue. And it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth and kind of made me think I need to move my business out of Oregon and myself. But I'm sure I'll recover eventually. I just thought that was stupid. It was lame. Undue stress onto someone. Super chat, $2. Appreciate your channel. Thank you so much for that solo road. I really appreciate I really appreciate you supporting the channel. Good evening. Why? So oddly enough, you'll find out Monday. That's Monday's video. I shouldn't say why so many. I'll tell you why people are moving there, but it's part of where are people moving to. Tennessee's on that list. Charleston, West Virginia, or Charleston, South Carolina. I love the people of Charleston, West Virginia, but I would probably still move to Charleston, South Carolina before I'd move to um, the West Virginia one. Now, if I was working from home and I was looking to save a buck, by far I would move to Charleston, West Virginia. Great internet in most places there, and it's not a bad town. Or West Virginia has its problems. Charleston has its problems, but Charleston overall is a decent city with a really low cost of living and low housing. Probably not, especially when you consider there's places like Calcutta out there and stuff. Yeah. Cannon Beach is my wife's favorite place to go visit. That's where we would be moving to if she had her way. Yeah, there's 9 states that have no income tax. Cannon Beach is gonna be my favorite town on the Oregon coast. I like Manzanita too, but Cannon Beach is the better one. Will I ever come to the East Coast? Be in the East Coast in November? Um, when's the last time I was on the East Coast? A couple years. No, 18 months. No. Yeah. Can't even remember where I've been lately. Super chat, thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. States with the most natural beauty in the lower 58 only. Okay, so I'll rank these for you. California is going to be number one. When you start considering the mountain ranges they have there, the sequoias, Yosemite, the Pacific Ocean, uh, Death Valley, all those different areas, California is going to win out on that alone. Um, Then you gotta start breaking it down to probably Colorado and the Rockies. Utah gets an honorable mention because it has so many national parks like Arches, Capitol Reef, things like that, Bryce Canyon. There's a big gap, and then you get to the East Coast, and you gotta look at the, West Virginia, North Carolina area with the Great Smoky Mountains, that type thing. I think overall you'll be looking at, California, Colorado, one of the states that touch the Great Smoky Mountains, come back over to Oregon, Washington, and then pretty much anything in, New England. Yeah, that's California's thing. I mean, they got a lot of bad, but they also got a lot of freaking good. There's a reason people still move to that state every single year. There's a lot of pluses that to a lot of people outweigh the negatives of living in California. That's how every place is though, really. I mean, Oregon, I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing, but then there's Portland, how it is right now, and then the rain. Hey, better Georgia. Just talking to you the other day, wasn't I, Kimberly? My best bucket list cruise, which was something I was gonna do in 2024, but I think we're gonna push back 2025, is the Panama Canal. I'm gonna go through that one. Mm, 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 mm. There's a good one. Where's the most beautiful places you've ever been in the US? North Cascades, Washington is for me. Most beautiful place I've ever been in. That's a good question. Going through the Rocky Mountains uh was mind blowing to me. It was just so freaking beautiful. It looked like something Disney built. Honestly, you're on this train and you're just looking at these things and they look fake because you've probably seen those things in so many movies that you just kind of get this feeling that this is fake. This isn't really happening. So going through the Rockies on a train, that's probably the most beautiful thing I've seen in the United States. After that, just the woods and stuff and the coastline of Oregon. Okay. So the coastline of Oregon almost beats out the Rockies. Oregon's coast is not something you get to lay out in suntan lotion and girls wearing next to nothing like I grew up around. Um, it's a different kind of beauty. So yeah, Oregon coast is mind-blowingly beautiful. Yeah, Panama Canal cruise. I've been to Panama, lived in Panama a while with the military. Um, but yeah, I want to go through the canal again. I've seen the canal, been over the canal, you know, crossed over it a couple times, haven't been through the canal yet. Any cruise I wouldn't do. I don't have a need for any of the Middle Eastern cruises. That's just me. It doesn't interest me. So I probably wouldn't do those. Okay, here, let's say you keep asking this. Briggs, do you think any city or town is worse than less than 50? I already said that. No. I already told you. No. I mean, there's cities out there like Calcutta. There's places like Syria right now and things going on in Baghdad and cities in Afghanistan. No, Detroit's not as bad as those, but we're not comparing it to those normally. Comparing it to the United States. Skiing in Antarctica. Do they have it there? Seems kind of flat to me, Antarctica. We love hiking, the parks, camping, snowshoeing, sports, etc. Thing for yep. Yeah, I love Cannon Beach. Me and my wife go there every once in a while. Stayed at the Hallmark Hotel so we could see, Haystack Rock right there. Oregon has a sandals resort. It's a good way to describe it too. The Beetle guy says the Oregon coast is incredibly rugged and powerful, but also beautiful and charming. It's absolutely a great looking, great way to put it. Manzanita and Rockaway Beach, pretty nice. That road, oh my god, that road from Cannon Beach to Manzanita, you look at it right over, and it's just I don't know how far down it is, hundreds of feet down into the rocks. You gotta, and they got this little, looks like a little waist, not even waist high, like knee high cement girder around it. It's like this is uncomfortable. I remember a while back you were on Mount Hood. Wouldn't go anywhere. Last time I went up to Mount Hood, oh my god, I slipped on the ice 3 times in a matter of 4 minutes, and twice I did the whole fall back and hit my head, and I'm all, that didn't feel good at all. Be be in a coma by the time I leave. Oh, I just clicked on one, it didn't happen. Best coastal town in Florida. Um, that's a good question. If you wanna look at towns, you got a couple really good choices. You got okay, so I've been to Cedar Key, had a great weekend there. I was young. Cedar Key was kinda nice. That's a nice little small town. You got all kinds of them. It's hard to think, but myself, if you look at the major cities, I like the Tampa area, St. Pete's, more than just about any other place. But St. Augustine's nice. I don't know. Cedar Key is one of my favorite places to go there, and I think that's just me because of the weekend I had there. Brand Astoria is the bomb. I don't know about Astoria being the bomb. Yeah, I didn't really notice that many. I did see some, but you become immune to them. We have so many in the Portland metro area. You just kind of become immune to seeing them. Um, so yeah, that's it's too bad. Astoria, I've been up there. I like Astoria. It just wasn't all that. Last time I visited Austin, last year, Bulgaria, huh? Hello from Bulgaria. I like your videos. Keep up the good. Thank you, Ivan. I will. I heard about that. The guy that someone new bought the Goonies house wants to open it up to visitors now. The last dude that was there, I heard, was a real jerk and like tried to make it so people couldn't come up the street because it's a dead end street. And he didn't want people coming up that dead end street. So he tried to get all kinds of things passed. I don't think the city let him do it. I think they did do a degree. I don't know. Gotta go to bed. Hey, Denzel, you have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, buddy. Um, so Oregon's not woke. The people are. But there's a bunch of people. It's because we got all kinds of people in here that do stupid crap. Um, Woke. There's nothing wrong with woke until it goes too far. I mean, if you read the definition of woke, it totally makes sense. You just care about social issues and things like that. Big deal. It's just some people go far too far, and that's just how it is. We got a lot of colleges here, have a lot of intelligent people. Intelligent people usually see both sides of a story, or they dig deeper into most stories, so they start to gain sympathy for other. It's a long, long subject, But put it this way, most people that are woke usually know more about a subject because they went to college and studied it, or they at least had some classes on it. Who knows? I don't know what I'm talking about right now. It's just, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, I don't want to get all political here, but I lean liberal on a lot of different things. I like my guns, but I want to save the planet from, total collapse, things like that. But, I just think sometimes when it's just gone too far with a lot of different things. Matter of fact, there's this guy, Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy is a UFC guy. He was visiting in Portland. He went to Starbucks. And this is the type of stuff I hate. And he goes, I'll take this, 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 and my wife will have. And the girl behind the counter's all, do you mean your partner? He's like, no, that's my wife. She's all, your partner? He's all, no, that's my wife. And he finally realized she's trying to, it's just stupid. What was the final score? Was that the final score? Giants finally scored. Ooh, 628. Not bad. Boom. Here we go. Super chat from PK. How would you rank the four Texas cities? How would I rank the four Texas cities? Ooh, good question. So the main four Texas cities would be the Dallas Fort Worth area, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. I would probably Dallas Fort Worth area would be number one, San Antonio would be second, Austin third, and Houston would be fourth. Oh, it's definitely going to be Huntsville. Huntsville has more doctors or doctorate degrees or whatever than any other place on the planet, and that's because of the businesses they have there that have to do with jet propulsion and things like that. Rockets. What's it called? Rocket City. I know Houston's called Space City. Huntsville's like Rocket City. Thoughts on a Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area for retirement? You like history, why not? A lot of people say they want to retire around historical things, but after you've been someplace once, do you really need to go back there again? Gettysburg, even without the historical, it's a pretty nice place to live. It's not that bad. It's a nice looking area. My overall opinion on Indiana, it's Indiana. They got some great small towns, great people. Um, I wouldn't mind living there. I wouldn't, if someone told me I had to move there for like a job or something like that, I'd be okay as long as I can go to Fort Wayne. I imagine Fort Wayne's decent. Illinois does have a lot of taxes, but the most taxed state is New Jersey. I brought this up in a video just recently, or maybe it's in an upcoming video. Anyway, everyone seems to think California has the highest taxes. They do not. I think they're ranked 14th or something like that. They have high taxes, but they're not number one or two like most people think. Yeah, that's something coming out in next week or the following week. We have one. The country more people are retiring to outside the U.S. We did one similar to it a couple of years back, so we're gonna do it again. Montgomery, Alabama. It's not great. It's not terrible either. I mean, it's not. It's not. East Side Detroit, or it's not. It's not Detroit or South Side Chicago. I like Asheville. I like Asheville a lot. How long does it take me to make a video? So it depends. It depends on what we're doing it on and how much research goes into it. I have a research assistant. She does a lot of the research for me, and then we go over it together. And I write a script. So once I have you know, the information I need, then I start writing a script. Script usually takes me about an hour, 2 hours to write, depending on the video. And then I think our editing of video is probably around 4 hours. So yeah. How do you participate in my polls? They come up randomly on Google, different Google pages and stuff like that. Up, up. Saturn EV, thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. How would you rank Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio, in my opinion? I would say worst to first. Cleveland, even though I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan, is the worst. Cincinnati comes in second. Columbus, Ohio is not a bad place to live at all. Toy, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And thank you for supporting the channel, Saturn EV. I really appreciate you helping out. JJ wants to know what gets YouTubers paid. The number of followers, views, likes, etc. What's the biggest impact? So it's going to be the views. Doesn't matter. The subscribers don't matter. There's you could have a channel that's been on here for 10 years and you could have 3 times as many subscribers as I do, but if I'm getting 5 times as many views, I'm going to get paid more. It's how many views you get and what they're paying for your subject. So let's say you're doing a subject on gaming. You're just a gamer, right? A gamer, let's see, typical video I put out, give you an example here. If I could just find what I was talking about. Okay, so I put out the top 10 states to retirees are living. I put that out on January 16th. That one has 144,000 views. Okay. If you're a gaming channel and you put out a video the same day and you have 5 million views right now, well, let's not go that far. Let's say you have 2 million views and I only have, just say million, probably easier. I have 144,000. Your gaming channel has 1 million views on your video, my video is probably going to do better because of the subject I'm talking about. I'm talking about retirement. I'm talking about moving, talking about things like that. So they're going to pay me more for every 1,000 views because the ads that want to run on my channel versus a kid's YouTube channel about gaming. They know that people that are watching my stuff have more money to spend and are more likely to do things like buy insurance, buy a home, call a real estate agent. So that's the type of ads I get. They pay better than someone, selling a new controller for their gaming system. So yeah, that's how it works. So it depends on what you're talking about and it depends on the amount of views you get. So as an example, thanks Ben. I appreciate that. So as an example, if you want to start a channel and your sole idea is to make money, I would talk about real estate. I would talk about financial stuff if you can, if that's your thing, and never give advice. You could talk about what's going on. Oh, here we go again. I just screwed the thing up. So my new camera has these hand signals, and I hate it. Gotta find a way to turn off. There we go. There we go. Okay. What city do I think is America's best city? Or what city or cities? Um, Overland Park. That's one. That's overlooked by a lot of people. I think San Diego. Everyone knows San Diego's there, but I don't think many people know how nice San Diego really is. There does seem to be a lot of doctors with channels right now. Oh, anyway, so what I was saying about your channel. So if you're gonna start a channel, travel's another good one. They pay good for that. They pay good for insurance, uh, jobs, looking for jobs, things like that. Those things, if you're talking about things like that, you're going to get paid pretty good. But is it interesting enough to get a lot of views? So you could be talking about something that pays a ton of money, like car insurance, pays a weird amount of money. But the thing is, how do you make videos consistently about car insurance that you're going to get more than a few views, you know? It's the balancing thing. That's why I talk about real estate, but I try and make it entertaining. So you guys are coming to watch it because it's entertaining, and they pay me decent because I'm talking about something that has good advertisers. Shorts work. Um, we'll see how that pans out. Uncle J27 Super Chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, Uncle J27. I really appreciate it. Um, if you had to choose between just Los Angeles and San Diego, which would you pick? I said, oh, San Diego in a heartbeat. There's no competition. San Diego in a heartbeat. Gamers can make a lot because they can make a lot of views, but if you but like I'm gonna get, you know, my pay rate is probably 10% or 10 times better. They just get a ton more views than me. So in the end, our paychecks are probably very similar. But I didn't need as many views to get there. Is what I should have said originally. I've done I have done a few about neighborhoods and small towns in Alabama. Been a while, but I have them. Thoughts on Walport, Newport? I don't have any ones. Which Newport? There's Newport, California, Newport, Rhode Island, Newport. Which one? Sorry, I had to make some changes here. I just realized normally I make it so that only subscribers can leave comments, which to anyone that's not a subscriber and you've been leaving comments, you might not right now because uh half the people that are leaving like just things I got to keep deleting, they're not subscribers. So if I put it on subscribers only, then it gets rid of a lot of those. So if you haven't subscribed and you want to leave comments, please subscribe. Yeah, that is something we've been thinking about why nobody moves to Houston anymore because nobody is moving to Houston. I think they're actually going to see a loss in the next 3 years. The comment section is much slower now. Yeah, it's moving a little bit slower. In fact, I think I made a tweak. I didn't mean to. Yeah, a lot of those comments were people that aren't subscribed to the channel, and yeah. So just subscribe if you want to leave comments and you want to leave decent comments. And you don't want to throw out racial slurs. We're here for you. Yeah, Houston can get pretty muggy. It's like swamp down there. Most people think it's so if you don't a lot of people that have never been to Texas, they just seem to think it's a desert. I don't know why. It's definitely not desert. They have some parts. You get up near Amarillo and stuff. Woo. Um, but people don't realize that you go down to Houston and that's like it's almost like a suburb of Louisiana. Hey Amy, how are you? When am I coming to the Upper Peninsula? Do not know. It's not on the books for me yet. How often does YouTube pay you? YouTube pays you every single month as long as you made over $100. So if you don't make $100, let's say you made 54, next month if you make $50, you're going to get a check for 54 or $104. Every time you make $100, they'll send you a check, but one time a month. And that check comes out on the 21st. But if it's a holiday like it is today, it'll come out on Monday. Or not a holiday, but a weekend. For a holiday too. If 21st lands on a holiday, you don't get paid till the next workday. Yeah, that's a funny thing. I've always thought it strange when the desert snows. It's like this isn't supposed to be how it happens. I love being a YouTuber. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yeah, Houston summers can be pretty brutal. I still know positive sunny affordable homes. Yeah, they are affordable. Hey, good evening, Anthony. It is going great. How's your night going, sir? Oklahoma seems kind of strange. Get snow winter, dry desert. Yeah, it is strange when places like Oklahoma. Oklahoma does get some snow though every year. Um, just not that much. It's definitely no Minnesota. What made me so I was stationed up at Fort Lewis, which is in Washington, just for a couple of years when I was in the military, and I had friends down here in Portland, and I would come down on the weekends when I had off, and I would visit them and hang out with them here in Portland, and I just fell in love with the area. So when I got out and moved down to Los Angeles, back to Los Angeles area, we just kind of got me and the wife and the kids kind of got tired of living there. We were 3 blocks off the beach, and I know that sounds strange, but we just wanted to get out of there, and we did. And best thing I ever did. Amy says, I love the fact that you are a YouTuber. Thank you. Really enjoy your daily videos every morning. Ah, you like those on this day. If you guys haven't subscribed to On This Day, please do so. We're adding a new feature probably when I get back from my cruise. Um, it is called, so it's going to be Dead Celebrities. So every Saturday or when I get one out, we're gonna kind of profile a dead celebrity. That seems to be the biggest, most interesting part of my on this day videos. You could see where people are skipping to or where they're staying or things they're watching over. And whenever I talk about who was born or who died on this day, that seems to be the most popular part of my videos. So I'm gonna actually start doing Saturday videos on celebrities that died. Hopefully, celebrity that died within the last couple of years. YouTube does not offer benefits because I am what they call a subcontractor. I get 1099 from them. Thanks, Virgil. I'm gonna pull that. This is on this day. If you guys have not subscribed to it, please do so. Boom. Hi, Briggs. Would you consider doing a series about how to be successful starting doing things on YouTube? Angie, I have thought about doing that on the Life According to Briggs channel. I have this dry erase board right over here, and I've got notes that I've taken on it, and I'd like to do it to where it's broken down for the absolute beginner. I mean, when I first started uploading videos, I didn't know how to actually put the video up. I had to watch like 3 different videos when I realized that, oh, I just got to click this button and do this. These days it's a little bit easier, but back in the day you had to click this button, you had to choose like the format. I think there was a couple things you had to do, and I didn't know which to click. So yeah, I want to go through everything from the very basics and do a series on that. Hopefully, it'll help some people out. Why would a YouTuber lose 50% of their revenue? I don't get what you mean. 50% of their revenue? Who's losing 50% of their revenue? Yeah, Angie, that's definitely something I want to do. Louisiana, talk about said that Bill score 73 and a weird so rating rates. A lot of major cities. Okay. Okay. So your point, livability score is 73 and it has a weird good school rating and a lower violent crime rate. Okay, Bricks. I looked at Louisiana when you talked about said it had a little bit. Okay. I don't get where you're going with that. Is Montana and Wyoming a work from home state or work at home state? It could be as long as you can get good internet. Now, Wyoming, I heard originally that Starlink wasn't working out that well. Now I hear it's doing really well just about everywhere in the country. Another channel said that YouTube took away 50% of their 50%. Okay, so YouTube has a 60-40 split. They take 40% of the revenue, you take 60. I don't know if that's what they were talking about. Now, if YouTube took 50% of their money, they might have demonetized half their videos or something like that. Maybe they were doing something weird that they decided that they weren't going to run ads on it because they don't want to upset their advertisers, which I totally understand. They're trying to run a business. Maybe that's what we're talking about, but there's an ad revenue that comes in and it's split 60-40. You get 60, YouTube gets 40%. Maybe that's what they're talking about, but that's the revenue split they have with us. Amy mentioned demonetized. Is that a video by video? Oh yeah, you could get your whole channel demonetized. They could decide that whatever you're talking about. This happened to a lot of people that talked about guns back in the old days. There used to be guys that would actually buy guns or go test guns and just shoot them at the range, and they made a good living. And then a lot of the advertisers started saying, "Hey, we don't want our stuff on gun videos," and so they basically demonetized a lot of channels that had nothing but gun content. So that can happen, but you got to remember YouTube's running a business. They're trying to make money, and if their advertisers are going, "Hey, we're not running ads on that," they got to do something. So yeah, Europe's definitely better transportation. Oh, by far, by far. Here, let me see. Did I get all that? Um, but yeah, you can also just get kicked off if, let's say, you do something. Matter of fact, if you were to use someone's videos and just copy them. I've had some people that have gotten in trouble because basically they just copied my whole video, made another channel, and put my videos up on their channel. They didn't add any commentary. They didn't add anything to them. They were like a reaction video. They just copied my videos, and that pops up. That sends a message to me that someone's using 100% of one of my videos. So yeah, you just basically file a thing with YouTube, and YouTube takes down the video. If you get 3 of those takedowns, they boot you off the system. You're no longer a channel. Now, if you use someone's videos, a little part of it or you're reacting to it, they could still complain and you could still have a problem. But most of the time, people go, it's not a big deal. If you want to do that and react to people's videos, and let's say it's mine, make sure you go, hey, this is World Accordion Briggs video. There's a link for the full video down below. This is just me reacting to it. If someone did that, that's fine. It's when you just copy and paste my videos on there or any YouTuber's videos, you're going to run into some problems. In the old days, if someone just they kind of stopped this, but let's say someone got mad at me, they would just put in a copyright claim against the channel. Well, people were doing this just to get at someone, and YouTube starts suing those people for false claims. Come to find out that if you file a false claim in the federal registry or through the federal copyright law, you could be in a lot of trouble. There was one guy, I forget what he lost. But he was mad at someone he was playing a game with. So the guy put in 3 disputes, content copyright claims on his stuff in one day, and the guy was basically demonetized. Now you get to dispute it and go through all this hassle, but for days this guy wasn't collecting money. YouTube figured out that he was actually doing this just to be vindictive because he was losing at some game. They sued him, and he can never have a Gmail account. He can never be on YouTube again. Part of his agreement is never to be on YouTube again, and it cost him like $150,000. So yeah, that was a problem for a while there. False claims. So from here to there, I think that's that guy that does videos like mine. Now he definitely is doing something very similar to mine, uh, but he's basically doing what I'm doing. He's just doing it in his own words. They can't fault him for that. He could do that all he wants. People are going to know he's not original. My 50-year coma joke, yeah. Welcome back from your 50-year coma joke. Or from your 50-year coma. Well, that's the thing. Sometimes people are, I don't know what that means. It's like, you don't know we have a President Biden or, whatever the subject is. Like, have you been in a coma for a year? Good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. Barefoot. Lord Spoda has, I've been watching him. He's pretty good. I like his channel. He's got some good stuff. What's funny is he's just basically driving around the country making videos. Good for him. I mean, that's what what's his name? Daily Woo does too. Daily Woo's got a weird delivery to his videos. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great movie. It's officially Sunday right now, someplace, right? Original content and perspective deserves credit. It actually does. I mean, like I was saying, it's great if you're going to do your own thing, but if you're just ripping people off, people know that eventually, and they just start calling you on it. There was one guy, I won't say his video channel, but um, he was basically just hacking what I was doing and what Nick Johnson was doing, and you could just tell he was looking at what we were doing and then just redoing it. And I went over to his channel one day because he reached out to me, see if I'd shout him out. It's like, dude, you're basically my competition. So I said no. And I went over to his channel. I started looking at him. Well, this guy's doing exactly what I'm doing. Then I started reading the comments, and everyone was all, "Yeah, I liked it better when Briggs did this video." Just a bunch of stuff like that. And the guy got all bent, and I don't think he's uploaded a video in a year and a half now. Have you watched Sonny from the Beat food review? No, I have not. He's actually was on Joe Rogan the other day. That's right. I did not. I don't even know about that. I'll check it out. Top 10 cities, that could be a good one. Top 10 cities that shouldn't exist. Well, there's a couple of them. Loving the nature in Eastern Tennessee, some of the most beautiful scenery. Yeah, definitely. Eastern Tennessee, actually all of Tennessee. Briggs, before I go, I want to thank you for the woke videos. Thank you for explaining the term. I'm glad you got something out of it. Have a good night. Hope to catch you next Saturday. Won't be next Saturday. I'll be on a cruise, Amy, but thanks for hanging out. Probably a couple of weeks. We're going to do another one. You know, I might do one from the hotel room for like 20 minutes or something when I'm in Louisiana. See how that works out. But thanks. Have a good night. Phoenix shouldn't exist. Well, New Orleans shouldn't exist. I mean, it's underwater pretty much. It's below sea level. Amy, have a good night. Um, I would buy a ghost town if it was in Wyoming or Montana. I don't know if I'd buy one of those Arizona ones. A little too dry for me. Best food city depends on what kind of food. Laredo, Texas has some of the best tacos and Mexican food I've ever been around. Nick Johnson does a lot of video essay about homeless stuff and bad parts of cities. Yeah, that's kind of been his thing. We go through phases. And that's what he's been kind of doing for the last year or two. He's been doing a lot of that stuff. It's been really good for him too, though. What does the sign in the back? Oh, stay hungry, stay foolish. I don't have my other one up anymore. I had a quote up there. It was all really cool and um, framed. It was from Gorgeous George. It says, "A lot of people will pay a lot of money to see someone shut your mouth." We need new color back here, guys. Orange, maybe? Yellow? Hey, yellow looks like green. The blue seems to glow better than all of them. All right. Briggs, do you want to do videos like Nick Johnson where he drove? No, that's not my thing. That's Nick's got his thing going on like that. So it's not something that I would do. I try not to step on his feet or his toes or, put it this way, if he has a subject that he did, I won't do it for a year or so. I mean, if he did a video about Detroit, I might do a video about Detroit. But matter of fact, the white and black thing, like 3 years ago, he did the blackest cities and the whitest cities. Um, that was 3 years ago. So I figured, I could do it again. I could do it now. But we try not to step on each other's toes. I'm getting ready to do those ones again where the best cities you could retire on for under $2,000 a month, that type thing. I'm getting ready to do those again pretty soon. I want to get a little deeper into them. This is the other thing, and I'm going to make a disclaimer in all of them. If you're watching this video 6 months from now, the numbers might not add up. I don't know how many comments I've gotten because I did these videos 3, 4 years ago about how you could survive in these small towns for like $1,400 a month. Well, I had people running the math 3 years later, and they're all, well, that's not correct. Well, look at the upload date. Best state to buy a cave. That would be good. Make it purple? I could make purple. Purple doesn't. Purple looks blue. There's blue. There's purple. Pink looks more like purple. Yeah, the blue looks. See, that's blue. That's actually pink. Pink looks purple. Actually, I'm looking out on the screen. That looks like purple. That still looks like blue right there. Just a different shade. In real life, it looks very purple. I like video retiring on under $5,000 a month. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to up it because before I did it for like $1,600 and stuff like that, and things have skyrocketed in the 2 years since I did those videos. So it's like 3 or 4 years ago, I did them for like $1,400. Then I moved up to $1,600. Basically, what I was going on is I forget if it was the average or the highest. No, I think it was the average you get for Social Security, where you could live on that kind of money. And it was the very basics. You might have to have another job if you want anything above the basics. That was what was. God, I bit the crap out of my tongue tonight. My lip. I don't know what's going on. I'm talking too fast. So I think we got to up it a little bit. I get to go on a cruise and come back and have jaw surgery again. No, that's not a projection TV. That is actually um, someone cut out a piece of plastic. They put a nice vinyl thing of the Earth over it, and then it's on these little stands. It hangs on my wall, and it's got these little stands that hold it out about 2 inches from the wall, and then right along the edge on the back of it, on the back of the Earth there, it's got these little like lights that go all around, little LED lights. Oh yeah, that's the worst. How do I deal with the gray skies and rain in Portland metro area? Do you like the gloomy weather? I do. I like cool weather, so that helps out a lot. Sometimes you'd like it a little warmer, but really, I'm happier this time of the year because it's cold than I am when it's hot. I grew up in hot weather all the time. I just like the cold weather myself. Yeah, I think we're gonna start working on those back in. I'll probably start working on 'em in March, and we'll start seeing 'em around April, is what we'll do with those. I have some of those from a couple years back that I have this they show you the top 25 every hour, and it switches. There's 2 or 3 of them that I did, like New England and one about the West Coast or something like that, best places to retire under this amount of money. They're like 2 years old, and they're always in my top 25. Then I did other ones like the Midwest. Nobody cares. Those videos never saw the light of day. Well, they were put up, but no one really watches them. All right, guys, that's 2 hours, and I'm getting punchy and I'm getting tired. Let's get a couple more of these in. Thank you very much. A little informative. I try and be sarcastic. Funny, the people I work with are going to love the time of year they get cranky and the sun comes out, temps go up. Yeah, you get used to this type of weather. It gets too hot, and you're like, oh my God, I can't take it. That's easy. Chicago. Always answer that question, Chicago. Love Chicago style pizza. Briggs, is there a single state where people don't say we're full? Yeah, Iowa, Kansas, places like that. You never hear that from them. Florida, same way. The states where people try and tell you they're full are going to be always Colorado, always going to be Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, even South Dakota. North Dakota, they're more than willing to have you there. Wisconsin, I never hear that. Never hear it from Minnesota or Ohio. It just always seems to be Colorado, Arizona, Texas, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho. Those are always the ones. All right, guys. That's it for me tonight. I really appreciate you hanging out with me as always. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a live stream from the hotel on Saturday next week. Everybody have a great week. Watch some videos tonight. Maybe grab one that you haven't watched in a while. watch it, helps out the channel.